Going back now, so this is what you're going to do with the writ. So you're going to go into and you're going to make your own writ, your own stamp, and go through the courts. How long do you reckon this will happen?
We're doing that now.
Well, you're doing it now.
Yeah, we're updating it. We have one of the websites is called Globe, Globe,
yep.
-union-court.org, globe-union-court.org. And it's one of the sites, you can actually get to it from the front page of one-heaven.org. But what we're doing with the writs is simply showing this is the fundamental model operations manual of the court system, of their private justice system from the 13th century. It's their McDonald's manual. Okay, if they're selling fries, McDonald's fries, then they've got to be McDonald's fries. And at the moment, they're putting them in Hungry Jack containers. And we're going to say to them, guys, this is your rules. Are you still in the business or not? And if you're not in the business, then fine, this isn't a court. This system is a farce. Yeah. But it's time to basically bring it right to the front of the fore and say, if there is no remedy, if you don't follow the fundamentals of your system, as Blackstone said, no writ, no right, no writ, no cause. If you continue with the absurdity that you keep raising, then there is no remedy, there is no law. You guys are out of business. Out of business.
That's good. That's awesome there, Frank. Now, we've got about 7 minutes to go. We were going to talk about the Reincarnation, but more anything I wanted to talk about, which I was very interested in, the CCR5 Anomaly. How do you say it?
Anomaly?
Yep, Anomaly. Yep. What is that? I've mentioned it before because I've regurgitated from what you said, and I go, what's this thing? And because it does happen in this world, why do some people just don't get sick?
Okay, very, very simple. They've done the genetic research on the bubonic plague, and what blew them away is they actually found that the bubonic plague originates in Egypt, and it originates around about 1340, 1350 BCE. That is a disease that is no older than that. Now, what blew people away is that this is exactly the time that we talk about when we talk about the historical figure or the mythological figure of Moses and the Exodus and all of that and the great plagues of Egypt. So in a sense, it validated a major part of the story. I mean, Exodus is one of the key stories of the Bible, as I'm sure you're aware. Corresponding to that, they've discovered that there is an anomaly that people have. Now, only about 9% of the world have this anomaly. 9% of the world have it. It turns out that the people of the highest proportion that have this anomaly. What is this anomaly? This anomaly of a CCR5 receptor defect means that if people have it, in particular if people get it from both parents, then they are immune to the bubonic plague. They are immune to the influenza virus. They are immune to smallpox. And most controversially, they are immune to the HIV/AIDS as well.
Yeah, you can look it up on that, and it says about HIV/AIDS. It's
right,
and it's just strange. But if both parents have that gene, they're immune.
You can't get it. You can't catch it. You can't catch AIDS, HIV.
9%. That's just strange. How come 9%? It sounds alien to me.
Well, it does. But here's the thing: the highest proportion of people that have the CCR5 defect in the world. The country that has the most is Ireland.
Over in Ireland?
Ireland.
Why Ireland?
So how does Ireland get a CCR5 defect which parallels the emergence of the bubonic plague from Egypt?
So where did sort of northern...
Well, Egypt and Ireland are two places you would never think have a connection, ever.
No. I just have the connection with England. That's about it.
Well, the next group, you skip England, because England actually is not the next.
Right.
The next group that has the highest proportion are pockets of Germany and pockets of France, and then you skip to Northern Africa. The Berber tribes have the next highest proportion of CCR5.
Wow.
And then you go to the Middle East. So Asia almost entirely doesn't have this defect. And, of course, Southern Hemisphere doesn't have this defect. So the highest proportions appear to be Caucasian. That's the highest proportion. But mostly Celtic Caucasian, are the ones that overwhelmingly have the highest defect. Now, there was a guy called Pharaoh Akhenaten, historical figure, real figure, father of Tutankhamun.
Right.
Okay, King Tut. This guy apparently led out all the plague victims. He took them out into the Sinai.
Mm-hmm.
There was some argument that he had the virus and others had it. People survived. The people who survived are the original people who had the CCR5 defect. So the ancestors of Pharaoh Akhenaten, the last great Ixos king, are the ones that have the CCR5 today. Isn't that interesting?
It is such an interesting thing. And Moses, King Tut, is that Moses, would you say?
Akhenaten is the historical figure that the Bible calls Moses.
Wow. But in
fact, I was just going to say, if people say, well, this all sounds strange, there's actually a relic in Tel Aviv. It's the most important specimen from the Dead Sea Scrolls. You know the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Mm-hmm.
There's a thing called the Copper Scroll, or the Treasure Scroll. Have you ever heard of that, the Copper Scroll, Treasure Scroll?
No.
I have, yes. It's points. It's a map that points to supposed location of treasure.
Yeah, there's ancient Greek along the side of it. Have you ever heard about this ancient Greek?
No, possibly. It was a while ago, though.
Okay, there's a series of ancient Greek letters that were written actually by the priests at Qumran who wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls. Actually wrote it on top of it. So this is an older text. These guys, if you like, added to it. And they wrote in Greek this: Akhenaten is also Zadok. That is the message they wrote on the Copper Scroll. Akhenaten is also Zadok. And Zadok is the name that was given to the first high priest of the Israelites. And the first high priest of the Israelites was supposed to be Aaron, the brother of Moses.
Wow.
Okay? So you can't tell me that the ruling elite don't know this history. They absolutely know this history. It's just what they sell us is ice cream fairy floss, and what they keep is the real history themselves.
They do, yeah, that's such an interesting. And so this is a Superman bug. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, you're immune to, and who knows where it's come from. Well, you've mapped it out where it has, but it just sounds alien, and it's just so people have this.
Well, there was one group that had it by virtue of
today, present.
Yeah, there's one group that had it through intermarriage that actually did take it to the point of claiming to be gods. And in fact, these guys who are incredibly mentally ill still believe themselves to be gods today, even though proportionally they had the smallest number of people with it. And they were a group called the Khazars. You ever heard of the Khazars?
Yes. Crazy
and the Khazars in Asia, because I said to you Asia didn't have it, when all these people were dying in Asia, the Asians saw these people as gods, as absolute gods, because they didn't die in the bubonic plagues that swept through in the 6th and late 5th century.
So this is the
7th century.
So this is the big the bloodline. This one, it would have to be if you're going to.
These are the people that claim to be the chosen people. These are the people that basically took this genetic anomaly and took it the whole 9 yards and believe themselves. Just even today, they believe themselves to be gods, but they have no idea that just a small minority that really are just a pimple on history. But for 1400 years, these people have been on a basically ego ride. We are gods. Look at us.
Yeah, and they've filtered it right through society with this stupid system that makes everyone crazy as we're supposed to be.
Sure. And they've remade the world in their image.
That's crazy. Well, awesome, Frank. You got any more talks coming up in the next month or two, or?
Yeah, probably another month we'll go through and do some more workshops on the Ritz and everything.
Awesome.
But until then, it's just head down.
All right. Thanks, Frank. And you're doing a talk show today? Yep.
Tomorrow. Well, it's Wednesday US time, Thursday Australia time.
All right. We'll give out the details for that, Frank. Franco Collins, thank you for coming on Workers Radio Sydney, UCADIA.com, one/evil.com, one/heaven.org. .com. No, .org.
.org.
Sorry, Frank. All right. Thanks, mate. Good on you.
Okay.